What's up, you guys? I'm B.Simone.
And I'm Megan Ashley.
And welcome to the Know For Sure podcast, where we talk about healing, growing, evolving, and having the tough conversations.
Yes, and we also talk about relationships, not just romantic relationships, but platonic relationships.
Like the relationship I have with my best friend, Megan Ashley, of 20 years.
20 years, baby.
Yes, baby. Do you know for sure?
I think I know for sure, but what I do know for sure is after this episode, you're going to know something for sure.
Welcome back to the Know For Sure podcast.
Hey,
I am B.Simone.
Megan Ashley.
Ooh, that is good. Save me a bite. Y'all. She got an acai bowl, and it looks phenomenal. This is the Know For Sure podcast. Welcome back. If you have not seen our podcast, this is where we talk about all things healing, growing, evolving. We also have fun and act wild and crazy, as you can see in our previous episodes.
Cinnamon spread on.
I know. You just trying to add extra shit.
Does it need more honey?
Yeah, I liked it though without it. She was trying to add stuff to her
salty.
acai bowl. She's like, give me that cinnamon spread. I'm like, Megan, just eat the blueberry if you want something sweet. But we talk about all things relationships, not just romantic relationships, you guys. Platonic relationships, like me and Megan Ashley's relationship of 20 years, baby. Whoa, all right. Come on.
You got to do it like this.
On the chain.
Frankie wants to pray.
Anytime Frankie wants to pray, she's like,
she goes like this.
Can
we
do this, please? We can do it.
She doesn't call it prayer. She's like, can we do this?
Can we do this?
It's time for this.
I just like how I feel with this. Guys,
I like this.
We have guests. You've probably seen them on our stories over the past couple years, heard their names over the past couple years, but maybe this is your first time seeing their faces. This is their podcast debut. JNF. We have Frankie and Jazmine.
I'm the J.
Virtual claps. I'm the J.
It only took 3 years
for me to know that.
Maybe 4.
Their company is JNF. I'm like, wow, like where'd y'all get JNF from? She's like, my name is Jazmine. Her name is Frankie. And they have worked for the B.Simone brand for almost 5 years now. Mm-hmm. And they are behind the scenes working diligently for all things B.Simone, B.Simone Beauty, B.Simone Fit, the websites, all logistical things behind the scenes. And they are helping with KFS. We had a team meeting here in LA last night, and it went phenomenal.
Team meeting and do a podcast the next
I know.
day. Yeah.
We weren't going to pod today. Megan wasn't having it. She's like, come on. We do not have to pod tomorrow because we podded yesterday. And we made it happen. So we're going to give y'all a podcast episode with 2 other members of our team. Yeah. So if people don't know who JNF is, how did you guys meet and start your business? Because this is like 2 best friends working together, 2 friends working together. Y'all have had trials, tribulations. They go to therapy together, y'all.
Yes.
It's like literally like a relationship. Yeah. It's a marriage.
It is a relationship. Yeah. It's not a romantic relationship, but
it's not.
I mean,
Frankie, that's me.
We said we were going to talk about that.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead. It's not romantic.
Frankie.
She said Frankie.
Frankie said.
It's not romantic.
Okay. Not all the time.
But I do want the audience to know, because they see, me and Megan working together. They always ask us like how it is working with your friend, and it's the most beautiful thing in the world, and we love doing life together. But we have challenges.
Also be very difficult too.
And you have to work through it like a romantic relationship or any relationship.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think it takes it's like this balancing act, right?
Yeah.
Because I think in any work relationship you need to be able to have good communication.
Yeah.
But I think when you have a friendship and it's a work relationship, then it adds this emotional aspect that you need to be able to balance. So that's why for us it's been really helpful to have therapy, because we're able to have this mutual person that kind of listens to us and breaks down okay, well, your reaction was this, the intention was that. So is there something that's being miscommunicated with your intention versus what the impact was?
Was there something that happened that y'all were like, okay, we need to go to therapy? Or were you just like, let's just go to therapy, this is healthy? Nothing bad has to happen for you to go to therapy.
We were not in a good place. I don't remember exactly what happened that made us start therapy, but I remember I think I asked you if you'd be willing to start therapy with me.
Frankie, sorry.
Is it? Hi.
Yeah, when you turn your face, Maybe scoot this way. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
My debut. This is different. I'm used to just talking normally, but now I have to.
You gotta talk like this.
And I have 10,000 drinks.
It's okay. Y'all, she's getting her mic together. We want to make sure you can hear her.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hi.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Just make sure when you're facing Jazz, they can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't remember exactly. There was something that happened. There was like, we were just not in a good space. The energy was off. Like, it was just not good.
We were working, but we weren't having fun, and it wasn't like
We were not happy talking to each other. Like,
yeah,
it was
we're like, okay,
shit,
bye.
like, I got to get on the phone with. It's just like the energy was not good.
Yeah.
I think something did happen. Like we had a disagreement or something was going on, and then the energy was like even worse after that.
Who
and I was
recommended
like,
it? Therapy.
Frankie did.
Oh,
I
you
asked
did.
her if she would.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had always kind of, not always, but I had thought about offering it up for Jazz and I, but I wasn't really sure how that worked because it's like, we're not in an actual like relationship. She's not part of my family. Like I didn't really know how that worked, but I was like, you know what? Like this could be good because it's like we have a relationship. So why not try something else? Because I was like, this is not working. And like, I don't want to be miserable. Like I don't want to feel like crap doing something every single day.
Because y'all met working. Like, we were
Right.
friends first. And
Exactly.
then every relationship is different, but y'all met on business. And
Yeah.
y'all built a friendship and a sisterhood after that.
Exactly.
Like through it.
Yeah.
And it's so layered. Like it's hard to like compartmentalize the two relationships. There's just so much overlap.
It's almost impossible.
It's
Like people say like you have to know how to separate it. You can kind of set boundaries.
yeah, but it's so
But there's
hard.
no separation of
Especially
it.
when
It's
you
like,
there
care
isn't.
about that person so much and you know
and when
so
your
much
purpose
about
is
them.
intertwined.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's
So
a
it's like-
balancing act.
yeah.
It's literally a balancing act sometimes. And I think that's what we were needing therapy for, to figure out how to balance it. And our therapist was like, look, work and friendship is very difficult.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that we really needed it in the beginning is because we have structure for everybody else. Like you guys know, we are like, when are we doing
Organized.
what? How are we doing this? But when it came to us and our internal business and how we wanted to work together, it wasn't structured where this is your title, this is my title, this is what you're responsible for, this is what I'm responsible for. So it was like we were trying to split everything up as evenly as possible, but like it's not always even.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah,
one
for
person
sure.
has to do more of one thing and then the other person has to do the other. But then
sure.
that can build resentment when it's so uneven, and then how you're communicating about that has to be
Yeah.
in a proper way.
And that changes in seasons, too.
Exactly.
I feel like that's how it was with me and Megan. Like, certain things, she just knew, like, we're just like, Megan does that. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
good at it. I'm not
Yeah.
good at following up. I'm not good at
Circling
Megan just
back.
Excuse me, but now you are
You
so
are.
good.
I'm like, all right, guys.
Communication has
But
improved so much on your
has.
end, and like I can feel how much you genuinely try to follow through on things and be on top of things.
Yeah. Oh shit. What did I drop? B.Simone
think
Beauty.
lip-
Fuck. But she kind of just jumped in and took on a lot of stuff that she knew I wasn't excelling or good at in that season or whatever. Like, I got this. Like, organization, flights, book. She's very organized.
Yeah.
So you kind of just jump in on what you're good at naturally. And like
Right.
you said, that can feel uneven sometimes.
I think the imbalance too came from Jazz already had her own business before we started a business together. So she had a set way, or like kind of her bread and butter of what she found was her passion or what she was really good at, or like what her strengths were. And I was in the process of starting my own business, so I hadn't fully fleshed that out yet. So I felt like I had to catch up. Like I was like constantly trying to be just as like strong as her and all these things, and it messed with my mental health a lot. Like constantly feeling like I wasn't enough.
In this partnership or in general?
In general, that's a
you.
whole other thing. But
Is it like when you put yourself in those positions?
Can I have that acai bowl? Thank you.
She wants the blueberries.
When you put yourself in the position of, I think, purpose, I think love, you put yourself in a position to be exposed. You know what I mean? Like when you really start to kind of do what you're supposed to do or be on the path you're supposed to be in, because God wants you to be so pure in it, that he starts to expose some of the areas that haven't been healed yet. And it's the person that you're tied to, your purpose mate, that exposes that. They are the opportunity for you to see it and fix it. And because it's so intertwined, it's almost like you don't have it's either fix it or don't live out your purpose.
Absolutely.
You don't have so whatever you were feeling as far as, I feel like I'm not enough, what it really was an opportunity to expose that to you,
so you can fix it,
that there's something in you before Jazz ever came along that caused you to feel like you're not enough, but because your purposes are entwined and she has to have you and you have to have her, she's the opportunity to expose that and make you deal with it. Because if you don't do it, and that's what I'm saying, we have to look at those relationships and those situations. That is a blessing, and it doesn't feel good, but it is a blessing.
I literally felt like I was like a little ant with a magnifying glass, and the sun was like, I just constantly felt like everything that
I was the magnifying glass.
Well, like life and everything that was going on was the magnifying glass. Like you were part of it, and not in a way that like it was like you were trying to hurt me or anything like that. Like you were just like, I know you're supposed to be here with me. Like catch the fuck up.
So I'm like a tough love person.
She was very tough on me too, and like I was also going through my own mental things that were happening. I had really bad anxiety, and this added on to it. Of the like feeling like I had to work overtime to try and like learn all the things for our business, but the business that we were doing was also kind of more structured off of what Jazz had already created herself. So it was like I was just having to constantly learn and figure things out, and I was mentally exhausted, and I'm like also broke as shit, like broke. Like at that time when we first started, we were not doing hot. I definitely wasn't. So it was the stress of like that. I was also in like an unhealthy relationship too. So all of these things just piling up. Like I would literally just like lock myself in my room, and like even trying to work too. Like I would have such bad anxiety I couldn't even focus. And Jazz like, hey, did this get done yet? And I'm like, what? I literally feel like I'm going to have a like I was having really bad panic attacks too. So it was just a bad time, but like all of that was necessary for my journey to get to where we are, and like I'm so grateful for Jazz. And
no,
I feel like I've been like on the verge of crying this whole time.
No, like, but that's real. And it's the person that you are closest to that is always the one that it feels the worst from, because it's the one that you're the closest to. So it and that's why you have to be like very like, I've been on this kick of like looking at the simple traps that I feel like the enemy tries to set up for us. Like don't fall for the little stuff, because that is an easy trap for him to be like, see, this ain't gonna work. It can't be good if it's causing this much. But really what it is God's like, no, this is an opportunity. I'm having her hold up a mirror to you.
It was literally a mirror. We talk about this all the time, like our lives are mirrors. And I think like in the beginning of our work relationship, for me it was like the reason that I was so hard on her is because I believed in her. And I was like, I know that I like on paper am a little bit more ahead and more experienced and was already established. But I knew that she was an asset to what I was trying to do. And like maybe she wasn't where I was, but I knew that she could get there. And so I feel like in the beginning it was very uneven, but I didn't know how to pour into her in a way that she felt seen, heard, and loved. So that took time for me to learn that
how to communicate with her,
exactly how I communicate with her, even though my intention is to bring her up here, it's actually breaking her down.
Because you got to do it in a way that works for her.
Exactly.
Not a way that works for you.
When I feel like someone's like this to me and like so hard on accountability when I'm struggling, that makes me go into a shell. I'm like, this is not a safe place for me. And so it makes me...
You need more gentleness, more understanding.
The gentleness like helps me get to a better place. But when I feel like I'm getting punished or like scrutinized for how I'm doing something, or like if I'm struggling and someone's not like, hey, like, I see that you're having a hard time. Like, how can we
figure out? Yeah.
You know, like
just the acknowledgement of it. Yeah.
Is so huge to me getting there. Like having that type of energy and support is huge.
And I think what we learned is that it takes both, though. Like it takes. And that is anytime me and B have had an issue, it's that. It's just, hey, you got to tell me, and then I have to be aware. Yeah. And then I got to tell you, and then you have to be aware. And that's it. And it's like, but you got to tell me. You have to say, yo, like, right now I need you like this. I need this from you. And then
it could change day by day.
Absolutely.
And you don't know
it's hard though when you have a business together and a business partner, like knowing when to be like, hey, we need to get on this and hold accountability. Okay? Like it's that's why it's so layered, and it's like it's a balancing act
constantly.
But it gives you the opportunity to take your ego. Like I've been in an ego kill, like the death of my ego in this season of my life right now. But I think that it puts you in a position to kill your ego, because now it's not about both, and it takes both people. Because now it's not about so much about, hey, I'm saying this, but don't be offended. Like you don't have to preface it anymore by saying like I'm coming at you from a place of love, when you both have the understanding of the responsibility that your purpose is tied up into. Yeah. So I don't have time to tiptoe around your feelings, and you don't have time to tiptoe around mine, because we know what it is. I know you love me.
We're gonna be in each other's life forever. I know what this is.
So we got to get to it. What is the issue? Get to it. Acknowledge it. Stop waiting weeks and days to say something's wrong, because you don't have time for that. Because our purposes are so intertwined, we got business to do. We don't have time to wait and try to wait for the right time to talk about this. No, now, that don't make me feel good, bro. Like, what are we gonna do about this? This don't feel good.
I'm getting better at that too.
I know. I was so important. We're getting to that too.
When I text you, and you received it so well. I sent a long text. I was like, I just have to sit. And I don't.
We didn't even talk about that.
We didn't.
Go ahead and talk about it.
You're so non-confrontational too.
I back in the day, y'all, let me tell you, I'm just like.
First of all, this wing eyeliner, what you doing?
Stop.
It looks so good.
She's a hottie, Hollywood glam.
Before, like, young Hollywood glam.
She's like, I'm just gonna be natural.
What you doing?
It was an accident.
She said I fell off the bed and twink.
All right, you guys, really, really quick. We're about to put you onto something just like we always do here at KFS. I don't know about you, but our diet and health comes first to us. Please don't ignore your dietary needs, guys. Over 97% of women aged 19 to 50 do not get enough vitamin D from their diet. 95% don't get their recommended daily omega-3s. I didn't even know that. But look, Ritual took things to the next level, just like we do here at KFS. They invested in the gold standard for research, which is a university-led clinical trial to study the impact of their essential multivitamin for women 18 and up.
Yes, the results were an increase of vitamin D levels by 43% and omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in just 12 weeks. Listen, guys, there is no shady stuff with Ritual ever. They use traceable and vegan-friendly ingredients that always have clear communication, so you know exactly what's in your multivitamin and where it comes from.
You guys, we wake up every day and take our multivitamin every morning, and my favorite part about this multivitamin is it does not upset my stomach. I feel great after taking my daily dose every single morning. Right now, Ritual is offering our listeners 10% off your first 3 months. That's for you guys, our KFS family. So visit ritual.com/KFS and turn healthy habits into a ritual. That's 10% off at ritual.com/KFS. Back to the show. Because, you know, when you ain't I'm trying not to wear so much makeup. So it's like, all right, do a lip and an eye.
You're not wearing anything on your face?
No.
Your skin looks beautiful.
Stop.
Yes.
Stunning.
Glowing.
B.Simone Beauty. Like, girl, you sell lip gloss. It ain't got nothing to do with your skin.
The skin.
Not yet.
Good. My bad.
What was I saying? What was I talking about?
The text. Sent her a long text
recently,
you hadn't talked about.
Tell the whole story?
Just cliff notes, maybe.
I mean, we can get into it. They're kind of involved in that a
Get
little
into
bit.
it.
What are we
Do
involved
you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. About the manager thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can get into it.
Do tell.
Okay.
We're involved. We need to, I'm like, fill us in because this probably affects us.
This is just an example of how we both are intentional in getting better with what we said we were going to do, right? Because I'm the person that's like, if it's awkward, if there's a problem, yeah, I just want peace.
I'm more like that.
How do
too,
we just have peace? We don't have to talk about it. Let's just be happy today.
I'm like, no, we're talking about this right now.
Yeah. And I'm very like, we both agreed in one of our disagreements, like in the past, like we have to talk about it. Whether it's just, are you okay? And then, the other person starts crying or whatever. And that's like literally all I needed you to ask me was I'm okay. And guess what? Now I am okay because I just released it or whatever instead of just holding it in. So we had a conference call with somebody that we're looking for a manager or somebody to oversee the bigger picture. We had a conference call and I brought the lady on the phone and, we were talking and Megan just didn't seem like in the call, in the meeting. She was very, I don't know, her phone was on mute, but it was kind of for them to meet. I already knew the lady, and long story short, Megan was quiet the whole call. I don't know what she was going through. I have no idea. I didn't ask. But after the call, I sent her a text and letting her know how it made me feel. I know this was not intentional. I know don't care. I know this is important, but I felt that you were very dismissive to the person that I brought to the table for you to meet. That did not make me feel good. It felt awkward. I had to talk the whole time. I'm like, I already know the lady, whatever.
Yeah.
And she received it. She was like, I'm so sorry I made you feel that way. I understand. And it was over. I said how I felt. She received it. And now we're both aware of how I felt in that moment.
Yeah.
So moving forward, you know what I'm saying? But usually I wouldn't have said nothing. It would have just been like, and I was like, are you okay? Like what, in that day, I think.
Well, what happened was
actually going
yeah,
on
my
that
mom
day.
had surgery that day, and right as my mom was getting wheeled into surgery, my grandmother got into a car accident. They sent me the picture of my grandma's car right before I got on the call.
And because I know my best friend, and because we are maneuvering through this workplace, I knew it wasn't personal. I know she cares about the brand. I know all of those truths, right? But that doesn't take away from how I felt on the call.
Absolutely.
In my mind, Megan got something going on that has absolutely nothing to do with this phone call. This is not personal.
Yeah.
So
But the responsibility on my end was once she expressed it, it wasn't my opportunity to be like, well, da happened.
To like justify
and this and this
almost.
because it didn't matter.
Yeah.
She felt that way. And all that mattered was that she felt that way. It didn't matter what was going on my end. It didn't matter. So my response to her was literally, I am sorry that I made you feel that way.
Yeah.
Period.
Literally, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's kind of just where it stopped. Because regardless of whatever happened to me 5-10 minutes before that, I still affected her in a negative way, and I would never want that.
Yeah.
So that it stops there, right? Or I could have took accountability and said, hey, you guys, I'm going to put my phone on mute. I'm going back and forth. Everything's fine.
Right,
But my
the
mom just got
communication component.
So still the responsibility was still on me,
Yeah.
regardless.
But
so
also
now I
so that
know
other people know what's going on, because the woman that you might have been speaking to too could have felt the energy as well and been like, damn, like that didn't feel good. Like maybe she's not interested. Maybe she
no,
doesn't
for
care.
sure. That's why.
Then they
That's
feel
why the
insecure,
response was just my bad.
I understand.
Yeah.
And
you know,
after that, I felt so free.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
'Cause it's
All
a weight
I had
off your
to-
shoulders.
all I had to do was tell her how I felt.
Yeah.
Instead of just getting off the call and acting like it didn't happen.
And then holding it in,
Yeah.
because even if you act like
Yeah.
it doesn't affect you,
Yeah,
those
it
things
does.
add up. It's
Yeah.
like points
Yeah.
that you're just like
nipping it in
adding.
the
Yeah,
butt when
the
it's
points
little.
that you're adding.
And that
Yeah.
was little. Like I didn't. After that, I was like, I don't care. Like I want us to have communication. And I'm like, are you okay? You know, which I found out later. But just having those conversations in the moment, I'm getting better at.
And being accountable in the moment, for the moment.
Right.
Everybody has
Right.
the role to play.
Right.
And so
Right.
my goal is to kind of look at situations where I used to be very reactionary just in my life in general. I'm trying to be a little bit more like, all right, let's take a full scope of the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And instead of immediately reacting or responding to how I feel, what happened, and knowing my person, what could she have perceived in that moment? You know what I'm saying? When you start weighing
the
that
full
out,
scope of things versus just what you're feeling and like where you're coming from,
you
and
are
that's
disarming yourself.
Yeah.
You're literally bringing yourself
And I like what
down.
you said, knowing your person.
Know your person. I know my person. I know she didn't mean that.
I know she's not. This is not personal. This ain't got nothing to do
I know
with
my person. She's on her period.
Right. No, for real.
She's about to start her period. I
That's
know
the thing.
Braylon. Braylon is on a thin string. When she's on her period or about to start her period, it is not something she is. I'm telling you, she's tired. She don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't like feeling sleepy. She doesn't like feeling bloated. She's bloated. She don't feel good. She's sleepy. And she's irritable. She wants to sleep. And what are the answers? What? So is it 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? What is it? You know, I know, but I know her.
Right.
I know her. You know what I'm saying? So if even in that moment, if she responds in a way that may not feel the best to me, because I know her, I'm not even looking to be offended. Because when you look for it, you're going to find it.
For sure.
I don't look for offense in our relationship.
Like that's like something that we've gotten so much better at through therapy is just our communication and disarming ourselves sooner. Because when we start like going and disagreeing,
It's like spicy as fuck.
Really?
In our
we get a little hot.
Jazz and I.
Well, Jazz is spicy
Jazz
just in
don't
general.
play. Jazz
has a
will call you and
mouth.
be like, so what's the issue?
Yeah,
I'm
like Jazz has a mouth. She is spicy.
Yeah, she don't play.
She don't care.
She's like,
And
I don't care. I'm getting work
go
done.
back to like
And Frankie is spicy too. I've seen both of it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
But I
What?
feel like
she hasn't been on some of the spicy
Yeah.
calls
I
that we've
missed a lot
had.
of spice, I
She's
feel
missed
like.
a lot of.
Y'all be spoon feeding me.
Spoonful. As
doing
you
that.
well, but it's never
Don't
towards
spice me.
like my spicy comes out when people aren't doing their job.
Yeah.
That's where my spicy comes out. Or when people are disrespectful. That's a whole nother spicy. That's like spicy times 2.
Right.
But I
don't
feel
bring
like
it.
with us, it was that Frankie's a very private person. And she doesn't like to share what's going on. So I think one of the challenges in the beginning was that I didn't know that all of these things were happening. And even now, like, I don't find things out. So then when you don't know how to navigate. Because if I know where you are,
I can
then
help
I
now,
know how to
yeah.
respond to it.
Yeah.
But when I don't know where you are,
what you're going
then
through.
I'm going to assume everything's fine and try to push things forward.
Or you're looking for them. Right?
Right.
If I don't know where you are and I'm looking for you and I can't find where you are, that's hard.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, drop the pin so at least I know where you
Right.
at. And
Yeah. Where's
then I
your
know-
location?
Where's your location? So
Send me
that
the
way I
location.
know. No, seriously, that helps.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
it does.
I know that I'm that person where it's very hard to find me.
Yeah.
I am hard to find. When I don't want to be found,
Yep.
it is hard to find me. I know that.
I experienced that a
You
little bit.
experienced that a lot with me.
Yeah.
And Frankie, I mean, me and Jazz developed like a very tight relationship 2020. Like we were like, me and this girl talked. I don't know why that made me emotional. Me and this
I'm
girl.
emotional too.
Me and this girl. Me and this
'Cause
girl
we know what
talked
we've been through.
Me and this girl talked every day for hours.
Yeah.
About business stuff, but then we would go on these tangents and talk. Like she knew me in a time where a lot of people couldn't find me.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? She did. She had access to me.
Yeah.
Because we had to talk so much, and it would just end up
Trickle
flowing.
down into what was going on in your real life.
So she had access to me where I didn't give a lot of people access.
Yeah.
So we developed this sisterhood where she know like I got her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know she got me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I've experienced I know that people can experience that from me, and that's a very hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And that just not knowing where your person is, that's scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like me not coming home, you
you're like,
waiting
where
for me
you-
to come home and I'm
like,
not
where you
home,
at?
and you can't find my location. That is scary.
Wow.
And
I
I
was a
know
little
you had to
scared.
experience that from me a lot.
Yeah.
And I know you experienced that from me a lot. But putting that analogy together, that's
Yeah.
scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Not knowing where your person
Especially when
is.
you love them so much and you
Yeah.
just want, you want them to be okay.
But you can't find them though.
Yeah.
Have you ever not been able to find
That's
somebody?
the worst feeling.
That is a scary, like, I can't find you.
That's scary.
Where you at, bro?
Yeah.
At least
Because then
tell
your
me
mind
you're okay.
goes too. Like,
You know?
like something can happen in the blink of an eye, and you're like,
and you start thinking of stuff.
your mind just
Yeah.
goes.
What if this and what if that and what if
Yeah.
you start thinking of the worst. No, they're okay. They're you know.
And then
And
I
then
think
they
you
come
start
back and
going
you're like,
inward
oh, thank
too,
God.
and you're like, what? Because I feel like what I experienced with our relationship was like we were so close, and I felt like I was able to confide in you with so much,
Yeah.
and just like you understood not just like business. Like we would literally get on and talk about B.Simone Beauty and all the things
All the
at
things
that
that were
time,
going
and
on in
like
that
how do
moment.
we help? How do we take care of B?
How do we take care of B?
And like that was like where our conversation would
Yeah.
start, and then we would talk about
made me
like
emotional.
our
It was like
personal
y'all then were
lives.
taking
Literally.
care of each other.
Exactly,
be
because
on the
I knew what
phone
she
like,
had to
she
do for
needs help.
you.
We
Figuring out
gotta-
how
yeah.
to fix it.
Exactly, and like we both saw before we knew, before it was
It
known
happened.
what was happening, we knew what was happening, and
Yeah.
we didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
So we were like there for each other through that, but then it opened up just a whole new layer where I got to share and she got to see just like in my personal life, like my family.
Yeah.
Jazzy Poo. You're so cute. You're so strong. You're so strong.
Thank you. But Megan got to just like be there for me and like just speak to my soul the way that you do in this podcast.
Yeah.
You know, just
speak life into you.
exactly
And encourage you.
and see me for like where I am and where I was, and like just lend a hand to her own experience, and I don't know, just like be there for me.
Yeah.
I think you just made her feel so seen.
Yeah.
Like the way that you spoke to her and listened and your own experiences. Like I remember Jazz just like talking to me about your relationship, and like you really just held so much space for her, and you were also someone that understood what she was going through. Because I think it's different when like I hold space for Jazz, but you've gone through a lot of similar things that I can't hold space for her in that way. I can be there for her as much as I can, but it hits different when that person
has been through
relates to you and you're like, holy shit, like your story and what you've gone through is so in tune with what I've gone through. Like I don't feel alone.
And that's how that's how our relationship was, and it was rooted in this like, I don't know. This is why I feel like I will forever say this. Like I'm so thankful for the team that we have, because the way we look out for each other. Like we would be on the phone looking out for you.
Yeah.
Like really ready to go to war with people, bro. Like really ready to tear some shit up for you. Like how can we fucking fix this and shield you from so much that you didn't even know what was going on? We were like, no, we'll fix it.
Yeah.
We would get on
We'll
the phone
be the
and
shields.
we'll do it. We'll take the hits. We'll take it. Like we were, agonized. It was physically affecting us.
I'm so grateful for that.
And me too. Like
All of us. I'm not just saying it was all. It was Frankie too. It was physically fucking with us, bro.
Yeah.
That was hard.
Yeah.
To see you in pain too.
Yeah. That was wild.
It was.
But to have that team, like, and y'all are watching this, we went through so much in 2019, 2020. I mean, y'all only saw a glimpse of it on the internet. From lies to rumors to, y'all don't see what goes on behind the scenes when you have a team of women, number one.
Emotional beings.
Women that have to
Clearly.
put together all the
Emotional.
pieces, and when the leader, technically, or the brand is like broken,
The face of
And
the
getting
company.
face
hurt,
of the
too.
company is broken, you know?
She just couldn't. But that's the thing. Like couldn't. She was in no space. She could not do it.
Yeah.
Like she was so fragile in that time.
I was so sad.
Man.
That
was so
to think
hard.
about that time, how I felt then.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
That was hard.
Because it
man.
also feels like, when is this ever gonna go away?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Are we gonna
Like,
get
you
out
feel
of
like
this?
that
Like
pain
y'all
or
stood
is-
by. my side throughout all of that.
We
Like,
weren't going anywhere.
people would have been like, "What? Like, you're canceled. You're this. You're that. You're a
But-
plagiarist."
But we know you though.
Like,
Exactly.
right.
Like,
That's the thing.
I feel like
Yeah.
what if there's
my
one
name or my
takeaway-
brand can't be attached to that. You know?
I think if there's one takeaway from this, and like what I want people to really hear is that you are the most pure, kind-hearted person I've
Thank you.
ever met.
100%.
Yeah. Thank you.
second
Like
that.
Thank
you,
Stop.
It's true though.
We all. That's why we're so aligned, because we
Yeah.
all have that.
We do.
Each of us have that.
Yeah.
Each
No,
of us
but
have
no,
that.
but let her
I
give
know.
let me
that to
speak
you.
I know.
into
Okay,
you
okay,
because
okay.
I'm
you
like,
speak
let her
into
give that
everybody
to you
else.
because you need to hear
But
that.
Yeah.
you have a way of making everyone feel so valued and so loved and so seen, and it's so authentic.
Yeah.
Just the way that you speak love into us.
Yeah.
We know that we come and we do work, right? Like
Yeah.
we work for B.Simone Beauty, B.Simone Fit, KFS. But you don't have an expectation of us to go above and beyond from what we are assigned to do.
Yeah.
And you appreciate everything that we're doing, even though like we're paid to do it. You're like, oh, thank you. It's like
Every
it's my
time.
job. I'm doing
It's
my
the
job.
acknowledgement and the gratitude that you constantly pour into us and
Yeah.
express to us that
Yeah.
makes us feel
Y'all are
so
so valuable.
valued and
Y'all
seen.
are.
And that's
Yeah.
not very common.
Yeah.
Like people can be very nitpicky of like just always wanting more out of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And they don't understand the full scope of how much goes into what we
And what
do.
y'all do.
Exactly. Like they're like, oh, cool. Like, can you just do this, do that? And we're like, you don't even understand what
I
goes
did
into
close
it.
friends for a week. I said, Jazz, please. I get it.
Yeah. So multiply that times like 100.
Yeah, that's
Like,
just a small thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Like,
and like, even if you don't know every single thing that goes into what we do,
I know you're working. I
You
know you're
know.
passionate. I know you care.
yeah, you're
It's
not
the
like, how
caring.
much more can I
Yeah.
squeeze out of them? It's like, I know that I'm getting so much value from these girls, and I want them to feel valued and loved and seen and appreciated.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with everything that you have going on, the fact that you still are able to do that and show up in that way,
Yeah.
like that's something that I know we both admire so much in you and appreciate.
I love
Yeah,
you
for sure.
guys.
And that's why when
sure.
we have opportunities to continue to pour into everything that you're doing, we do it.
Yeah.
Because
Full force.
We're happy to.
Yeah.
We're like, of course, like we
Excited
want
about
you
it.
to be
Yeah.
happy and successful
Yeah.
and feel like you have a solid team behind you that you
Yeah.
can trust, and like you don't even have to worry about things not getting done. Like they're just done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like things that you didn't even think needed to get done, they're done.
Done. Yeah.
And I finally feel that.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
everybody we have, with
Yeah.
everything we're doing right now, it's like we still, like you said, finding that
Yeah.
person, or there's things
Yeah.
that we're still working on, but it's finally like, this is it.
Yeah.
Like this is who's gonna be there.
Having
like,
a solid
forever.
foundation.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing takeaway for me is like we talk about all the time how like blessed we are to have the people and the team that we have, and the fact that we all have this like relationship. I don't know why it's mind blowing to me
It's mind blowing.
when I really think about it. Like,
Think about what we have.
yes.
Because it's so
It's
rare.
like-
It's so rare.
But even just like with Jazz and Frankie, like they live in LA, right? Shekinah moves to Atlanta. Ashley already lives in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta. B lives in Atlanta, right? For Shekinah and Ashley to meet Jazz and Frankie, and that already just be.
family.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't a
It's like
bunch of
effort.
work.
It's effortless.
It was just
Yeah.
like,
It's
okay, I'll call Shekinah.
Yeah.
Hey, Shekinah, do you?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna ask Jazz. I'm gonna text Frankie, and it was
Natural.
just
Yeah.
like,
Natural.
and we didn't have to say, hey,
Be
Jazz,
cool with this
can-
person, like connect with this
Literally.
person.
It was just
Literally.
like y'all. It just like, oh, okay.
This
you
is
the
what it
left
is?
foot.
Yep.
I'm the right foot. What's
Yeah.
up, left foot? What's
Yep.
up, right arm? Oh, okay. You part of
Yep.
the body too. What's up? It was just
because
like,
there's it's that foundation and that
It
love
is.
and that like we already know we're on the same wavelength
Everybody
and the
coming
same
together
page.
that's like-minded.
Absolutely.
literally,
Yeah.
like, and it was
and we're on
not,
the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
we're on the same team.
Yeah.
And even the things that like annoy us about each other, it's like this family annoyance. It's like not annoying like she gets on my fucking nerves. But it's just like, oh, here come Jazz with her pepped ass asking about a meeting.
Circling back for the 100th
You know what I'm saying?
time.
Circling back. Here come Jazz.
Yeah.
Circling back.
Yeah.
Or like, here
That's
comes
what-
Frankie with her.
Yep.
All right, like, what's up?
Like, oh, I need the thing
this.
for November
Okay.
1st.
She's like, hello.
I asked twice.
Message
This is the
5
third
minutes
time.
ago. You should have been answered.
Yep.
Like, it's a family
It's a
annoyance.
family annoyance.
It's
That's
not
literally
like,
yeah.
it's I don't
It's
know how
family.
to explain
It's
that.
family.
Well, it's also like the things that we're circling back on or trying to do are all to make
Right.
Fuel, make
Right,
the
I know,
fucking
but I'm
engine
saying
go.
just-
Yeah.
Just the personality
Yeah,
of each other.
yeah.
Like, we naturally have things that get on each other's nerves.
Yeah.
We all know that. But I love
just
how
love
we can,
each other
when it's
so
time
much.
to come back to the table
Yeah.
and get shit done,
Yeah.
we gonna come back to the table.
Yeah.
We gonna pray.
Yeah.
We gonna
Yep.
cry it out.
Yep.
We gonna love each other
Yep.
and get it done.
Yep.
Like, I love that we
Yep.
can always get back
Yep.
to that place.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jazz won't let too much time go by before she like, what's up?
We need to have a meeting. We
Yeah.
need to have a call.
Or if
Yeah.
Frankie can't articulate how she feels, Jazz will step up and be like, all right, Frankie's not doing this week. I'm going to do it, and I got her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, everybody just protects
It's a
each other.
beautiful
Yeah.
machine. Like we
Yes.
have our
It's always like we'll figure it out.
We'll figure
Yeah.
it
You know,
out.
and I think that's
Yeah.
where Jazz and I have grown to too. Is like we've gotten to a place because I think in the beginning of relationships, sometimes you're like, is this gonna work? Is this even good for me? Is this where I want to be? But I think now we're in a place where we're like, we're gonna figure it out no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take it off the
And
table.
so when
Yeah,
it- when
we
it's
know
that-
for
Take it
sure.
out. Yeah,
when
we
it's
know
that
for sure.
energy, which is what we have with you all,
Yeah.
like we're always gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
always.
too, like when our relationship initially, when we started like therapy and we were doing all of this work.
All right, you guys, let's take a quick break really quick and talk about keeping up our goodies and groomed, even though it's wintertime, because who wants hair all over the place, okay? Let's break away from the winter blues with a wax from the experts. Book a service today at European Wax Center. All it takes is 15 minutes, you guys. Whether you're jet setting or staying home, get a quick refresh you deserve in 15 minutes or less. Of course, when you visit European Wax Center, you get the best by the best. Their certified wax specialists are expertly trained in prepping, protecting, and pampering your skin. I love me some pampering, and I think we all deserve that. The secret is their signature comfort wax. It's a proprietary blend of beeswax sourced all the way from Europe and other skin-soothing ingredients that allows us to remove hair easily for virtually pain-free experience. From brows to toes, European Wax Center specializes in all kinds of smooth. What's better than a smooth escape? A free escape, and we love a free one. When you join, your first wax is on us. Experience a new state of smooth at European Wax Center. Make a reservation today, KFS fam, and your first one is free. All right, guys, back to the show.
It was so business focused, and when I realized like there were things that I learned from Frankie that I wasn't doing for myself. I wasn't doing the self-care. I wasn't prioritizing myself.
Yeah.
And
Things
when I
that
wanted to
annoyed
do
me
one of
about
the
her.
I prioritized the self-care thing. She would get irritated because she's like,
Didn't understand
no,
how
and I'm like,
imperative it was.
I
Exactly.
need this right now because my mental health is not good. Like
Right.
I have to
need
make
this for me to
commitment
be
myself.
best
Right.
in this partnership.
And it was something that I was
Exactly.
growing. Like I was actively working on loving myself and prioritizing myself and taking care of myself. So that was
Yeah.
something that I was actively doing. At the time, Jazz didn't understand.
I did none of it.
She's
I
like,
did-
no,
I-
boom. Like,
I was the
that's it.
person that would wake up at 5 o'clock and start working and
Pull
would
out
work
your
until
laptop.
12. Like that was work for me was my safe haven. That was my safety net. I had to provide for myself. So I worked my ass off and I didn't know anything besides that. I didn't know
Yeah.
that I deserved success. I thought I had to
Yeah.
earn success.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she
So-
felt,
Wow.
see, Jazz always
Wow.
felt that was the
Wow.
only value that she could bring.
You deserve it. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I would always tell Jazz, like, you don't gotta do all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a story.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're good on your own, babe. You
Yeah.
don't gotta do none of that, and you're
Yeah.
still good.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And that was a big thing
Still
for her.
worthy.
You're still, yeah. Like, we love you. If you decided to shut this shit down tomorrow, I love you.
I still love you.
And you still are the shit to me.
If you have to take a break.
If you got to take a break. If it don't get done. If you fuck up.
Right.
Yeah.
You're still golden. Like, you know what I mean? And it was like trying to get her to understand, like, you still got to be good outside of what you provide.
Yeah.
You still got to be good.
Mentally, spiritually.
Yeah.
Healthy
Like,
all the way around.
That took a lot of work. I feel like this year I've probably been, I went through a lot this year, but I'm now in a place where I have boundaries that I didn't have before.
Yes.
I
Good.
prioritized myself when I did it before.
Boundaries.
Matcha,
Yes.
like,
no, I love that.
matcha was literally the start for me of me.
Matcha is her brand, Muy Matcha.
But it really was like, it was the beginning of when
Zoom in.
I'm trying to have like a serious moment. She's like, MuyMatcha.com.
It's a big
I know.
deal.
It
I want
is.
them to know
It
what
is.
matcha is.
It's great.
Well, also where it came from.
Yeah. Well, the reason that, like, I've always struggled with anxiety, and I just felt, whatever, I'm anxious because I'm busy and I'm doing things all of the time. And I drink coffee all the time.
Why
And-
wouldn't I be anxious?
Right.
Right.
And then when I couldn't sleep at night, I'd be like, why can't I sleep? But I would have coffee in the
Coffee all day,
morning.
yeah.
That's what Megan said. She's like, I can't sleep. You're drinking a Red Bull before bed.
Right.
I'm literally praying, God, please let me sleep. He's like, stop drinking coffee
Put the
and
Red Bull down.
Yeah, and then you'll
Exactly.
sleep. Easy.
So I was on this like journey with like my hormones too. I have PCOS, and there's just like so many factors in that. And so anxiety is kind of like a portion of it. And when I was looking at alternatives, matcha was one of them. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try this out. I tried it, and like for the first week, it wasn't even in my mind, but for the first week I was like, weird, I'm sleeping so much better and I haven't had anxiety. I'm like, holy shit. Like coffee was giving me anxiety and I was not feeling
Jittery
good.
and-
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
jittery. I was
Yeah.
anxious. Then I couldn't go to sleep. Then
Yeah.
I was tired in the morning, so I had to drink coffee because I was so tired.
Yeah.
Then I would crash at 2:00, so I'd want to have more coffee. Then I was more anxious. It was like this vicious
cycle.
cycle. But the false productivity that coffee would give me made me feel like it was okay. It was okay to keep running on empty.
Yep.
And then a year, no coffee. 2 years, no coffee.
Wow.
And I had never felt better. Like, I can wake up and I don't need to have anything.
Making that simple
I'm
adjustment,
just
though. And paying
exactly.
attention to your body.
But what more importantly, I think it was like the anxiety portion was important, but I think the most important part was that because my anxiety had calmed and the mornings now, it was a moment for me. It was a moment for me to do what I needed to do to fill my cup.
Yeah.
It wasn't about let me chug this coffee so I can be productive
So I
for the
can
world.
work.
It was let me drink this so I can feel good. And not
Take a moment for yourself.
Exactly.
And breathe.
Self-care.
a moment worth savoring is literally like the phrase, because that was what I needed so much in my life. And it was
And when
just
you
a
do that,
tool.
you don't need something extra to make you productive. Like you feel
Exactly.
more grounded in what you're doing and
Exactly.
a healthy energy
Yeah.
to push forward
Yeah.
versus like
You
But
just
it's
feel
mental.
good.
Yeah.
It was all like the mental for me.
Yeah.
And what I realized is like coffee was just a trigger. Coffee was my trigger of my anxiety, my anxiousness. And I found something that alleviated that, but also gave me a tool to prioritize myself and not just start my day for everybody else.
For sure. Started for you. But what did I say to you what week was that? Last week or the week before? I was like, practicing being present in every moment prepares you to be present in every moment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The awareness
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
present in
Yeah.
every
Being aware.
moment
Yes.
Yeah.
prepares you to be present in every
So it can
moment.
just happen naturally.
So that
Yeah.
way you're
You're
you
strengthening that
doing
muscle
Yeah.
of just
strengthening the muscle.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just a muscle, and
Yeah.
you doing that. Like, all right, I'm gonna do my matcha in the morning. It's just training that muscle. So then, when you
Exactly.
find yourself in another moment where it's like you need to savor that moment,
Yeah.
that muscle is already being strengthened because you
You know
practiced
how to
it
do
every
it.
morning.
Yeah.
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 And sometimes, for anybody watching, sometimes it just takes the one step. Just do one thing.
day.
Yeah.
One thing. Give up
Don't
one thing.
give
You're
up
trying
one
to change your
thing.
whole life in 24 hours.
Right.
And not knowing that the one thing will change your whole life.
It's a domino effect.
Because just making that
Yes.
choice, exactly, making
Yes.
that one choice, then it's a domino effect. Exactly.
In every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Like I said,
For
the
sure.
working out. That is more mental in every other aspect than anything else.
Yeah.
It's not just
It's when you make it a habit, then
Yes.
it's not like you have to pull yourself out of bed to do it. You're like,
the discipline,
this
the
feels good,
self-control,
and this is what I do.
What I want.
consistency.
And this
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
it's almost like you train your body to do it so much, your body will be like, bitch,
You
come
need
on.
to get up.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
And
fine,
then
get
if-
ready to work out.
if for
I
whatever
don't care what your
reason-
mind is doing.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
ready.
and even if
Yeah.
you slip out of it too, like
Yeah.
say you don't keep up with whatever it is that helps you be grounded and at peace, you know where to go back to.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
something, there's always an opportunity to readjust, realign, and go back to those
And
things
restart
that
to
you
the thing
know
that
are
makes
good
you
for
feel
you.
good.
Like
yeah.
just
But you have to try to find those things so that you know how to get back to it.
And
Yeah.
they're different for everybody.
different.
It is
Absolutely.
different for everybody. And something that
Jazz
worked
does
before.
a damn Circus Soleil every day.
she loves her Circus Soleil.
I miss Ariel
I
so much.
forgot. Like she said, it's called Ariel.
Yeah.
I miss Ariel so much. I know y'all thinking about the Little Mermaid. That's not what she's talking about.
I fly on little fabrics.
That is
sometimes.
crazy.
At it. She's really good at it.
She's so good.
But it
Wait.
ain't never gonna look like that for me.
She took me to one class and I felt like I got my ass beat.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like trying to hold myself up in these things, and I'm like, I feel like a rotisserie chicken.
You
And,
are a rotisserie chicken. You get the
literally,
little burn lines and everything.
Burned. Like I had bruises. I was like,
chicken. You are a rotisserie chicken.
no, I swear. Like I had bruises. I was like, Jazz, cool. I'm glad I had the experience,
me.
but like, I'm good.
Jesus.
I love that for you.
Rotisserie chicken. You are a rotisserie chicken.
You guys are idiots. Wait, who did you say? I'm.
Jazz did.
I said, yeah,
She's
you
like, you
are.
are. The little things are in your
No, it really feels like it.
But
I mean, you're wrapped in like a rope and it burns you.
How did
Yeah.
you even get into that, Jazz?
I always, okay, honestly, I think I went to a club and I saw
are
some girls doing it. I was
And
like,
you were like,
oh,
I'm
that's
gonna do
cool.
this.
Yeah.
Back in her rave days,
No, literally.
she was a little wild. So was
What?
I. Was definitely.
I was wild too.
I was-
not gonna lie.
But I am alive and well.
Frankie's like, all
She's
right
like another
now, I
episode.
have this.
I'm grown now.
I'm
I have
grown.
this.
I have prayer.
You know, it's taken a lot to get here, but we're here.
I wasn't
But
like a hardcore raver, but I raved.
I wasn't. Okay. I was a partier. We'll just leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a partier too.
Frankie is, listen, y'all see this
Give
cute
me
little,
the acai bowl.
no.
Wait, could she rap? We need to put on a beat and
Yes,
like,
because
she got to rap.
Frankie is a whole thug. Frankie
Literally.
is ghetto
No,
as
but
fuck.
literally.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She knew all the lyrics. Remember we were in the car and like the baby
song
came
was
on.
it?
It was Suge or something. I don't
it
know.
was like nasty.
Oh,
It was
nasty.
I'm sorry. My
That's
parents
my-
it
might
was
watch this.
na-
I am
and
not
she
doing that
went
right now.
off.
This is my debut podcast. I could not come out the gate like nasty.
Okay,
Saying
so
debut.
Patreon only.
See? See? I'm saying Frankie is ghetto. I love it.
I'm the one that
I'm
like
we're
clenches
staying
my
here.
pearls.
I know. I've learned my partner. I cannot say and send her certain things because we don't have the same sense of humor.
Jazz is like, what is
she
this?
legit got like mad at me for something one time. and
You
I was
said her
like,
porn?
kind of, but
Basically.
not that.
Look at
No, okay. Do you remember when that
was
video of the
inappropriate.
guy during COVID? Everybody be like, "Yo, look at this article," and he'd just be like, "Boom."
No.
What, was his penis out?
Yes, the big guy with the.
Don't send me that.
Send it to me.
So okay, I
know,
gotta
I'm
find
with
them.
you.
I probably
Like-
have like an arse. Like it was just funny stuff that people were sending around during the
thought it was
pandemic.
funny.
I thought it was
thought it was
hilarious because
gross.
it would be like. Literally everything's getting shut down in the world and COVID is not over for another 5 years and you'd open it and be like, boom.
And then you send it to her and
inappropriate.
she's pissed.
Yeah, but I would laugh about it with everybody. Like it was hilarious.
What did you say when you saw it?
She was
Don't
like,
send me this
"Seriously?"
ever
No,
again.
she got pissed. And she like she was like,
Don't fucking send me
you
this
ever send me that? I was like
No. Context, she had sent it before, and I was like, ew, I don't like that.
yeah, she's like, ew, I don't like that. It wasn't
No,
that
okay, actually, the first time
But
he sent
also, like,
something.
I didn't necessarily like it either.
Hold on. The first time she sent it, she had a traumatizing experience at you went on a hike, and this guy flashed her. And it was like traumatic.
Okay, but that's different.
But it
than
was
a
the
guy
same
pulling-
day.
No,
It was the
this
same
I'll let him get it out.
day.
This guy was in a car
thing.
next to me, pulled up, and literally like came to my window with his pee-pee out.
And she was so
And was like, literally,
traumatized.
like, come here. And I'm like,
And so she calls me freaking out about it, and I'm like, oh my God, like that's crazy.
different
And
than
I'm like,
someone
go.
sending a
no,
picture of
but it was
something.
the same
It was the same
day. It was the same day.
She said, I had
There's
seen
a
all
difference
the
between a
dicks.
man coming
I
at
can
you.
see it a day. That was
There's
too
a
many
difference
dicks.
between a man coming at
I
you.
can't see
swinging
any more
his-
dicks. You told me about the dick in the park. Now you're showing me a dick. It's too many dicks.
I'm gonna hold on. I need to pull
like,
this
I'm
picture
engaged.
up. Like even for my birthday, my friends
I ain't
got
seen
me.
my husband's dick that much.
My friends got me a cake with him on it because it was hilarious. Like it was funny, and there was a little flower that covered his. I'm gonna show you.
Whatever.
Anyways,
PSA.
So
Don't send Jazz.
don't
anything.
send
I'm
Jazz
good.
anything inappropriate ever.
Jazz, you've never got like a dick pic unsolicited?
Not for
I
my
don't like-
friends.
I don't
Give me
like
that
those.
bowl.
That's weird to me.
It's just
Please. I hate
unpleasant
dick
to
pics.
me.
Also, they're not cute.
It's one of the most. It's one of the most inappropriate things you could do.
Yeah, it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Why would you ever think that is what? And what is it? I be checking myself. I'm like, what is it about me that
makes
that,
it-
made you think
I
that
want to see your balls.
or that you could even think you
Not
could
your
do
ball.
that?
I don't
Ew.
think I ever have.
You've never got an unsolicited dick pic?
I probably like once. I don't really get them though, because also like I don't really post a lot on Instagram either. So maybe that's why I don't have a ton of followers either. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I don't.
I have gotten like DM requests, but I don't open them. Like when
like
it's like
this.
a blurred photo, I'm like delete, block.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
But
probably, like,
previously, yeah.
Here.
But anyways, it was just the back to back, and then I was like, yeah, I don't like this, and then she sent it again, and I was like, never again.
She was pissed.
So no dick pics.
So no
No dick pics.
No funny
Okay.
business in
You
that
can
way.
send them to me though. Those are funny to me.
I'm gonna find a link to one because when you see it,
Yeah,
you're
that
gonna
is
know
funny.
exactly what I'm talking about. Like it was.
Do you know that there's a book of penises? It's called the Book of Penises.
Cool. Where's it at?
The damn.
not me saying I don't like dick pics, but give me a penis book.
yeah.
It's actually a really cool picture. It's like different shapes and sizes and curves and colors. and
Interesting.
It's
I
a
want to see
dick.
different
It's
I
a
think I'm good.
book of penises.
Yeah.
How did
You
we
know
get
who
on
told
this
me about the
topic?
book?
I don't know. We were
You know who told me about the book?
Who?
My mom.
And they were saying that I'm
How does she know about
ratchet.
She's freak.
it? Your mom is a freak. Ooh.
In summary,
I don't know where that
You
came
bet.
from.
No, nasty.
Okay,
But
we
yeah,
got
as y'all-
sidetracked.
I
How did I
know.
get here?
As y'all can see, friendships have layers.
we were crying
From
and I was
therapy
talking
to
about
dick
From
pics.
pee-pees.
therapy to dick pics. But if y'all do want to start a business,
Damn,
with
I
your
wish that could
friends-
be a title. From therapy
where are
to
you
dick
going?
pics.
Wait, B, where are you going with
No,
this?
we need-
No, I'm saying if you want to start a business with your friend, you need to know it's work.
Okay, I thought you were going to talk about like making a book or something.
No,
In all realness.
no. It's
Yeah.
work. You have to do the work. Like,
Yeah.
that's basically what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
No,
it
and-
definitely is work if you want it to be
Successful,
sustainable,
longevity,
successful.
yeah, and have that relationship.
Absolutely.
You
Because
have
I
to
think
do
it's
the
also
work.
so important to have a friendship and a strong relationship with the person that you're working with every single day.
Jesus.
If you're
Every
going through
single
something,
day.
if I'm going through
I
something,
talk to Megan
like,
more than I talk to anybody else in my life.
Yep.
Same.
yeah,
Every day.
probably more
Literally.
than we talk to our.
We're on FaceTime all day.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't think it's possible when people are like separate the 2 It's like I
They
don't
have to
think I want to
coexist.
separate. Yeah, I don't think I want
Yeah.
to separate it. Like we in this, we life partners. We got to just figure it out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it's it's got to be worth it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
once you know for sure and you see
Yeah.
it and you know what the vision is, of course it's worth it.
Yeah.
And it's possible. It's possible.
It's
It's possible.
possible.
And let's keep it a buck. I don't know if we said this yet, but these are still women of color.
Yeah. Yeah.
These ain't just white girls. These ain't white girls. I mean, I'm just saying these are women.
LA
Of,
They got
girls,
a
but we're
bitty
not
bitty
white.
bum bum.
they're brown. They're brown women.
Is that
Frankie,
what you got in the spirit today?
Frankie, you're what? South African and
Mexican.
and
Yeah.
Jazz is Mexican.
Mexican, French, all sorts of
Yeah,
things.
but
Brown.
Mexican
Got a little
makes
mix.
them brown.
Brown.
You know what I'm saying? So these
Women
are
of
all
color.
women
Yeah.
of color who are successful, figuring it the fuck
In
out,
their
going to
business, in their
therapy,
relationships.
having the conversations,
Yeah.
doing business together,
Yeah.
connecting with other women of color,
Yeah.
doing business.
Yeah.
Like that needs to be
exists.
highlighted and known that it
And
exists.
it is possible. Yeah.
absolutely.
And we all don't have to look the same
Yeah.
for women of color to come together.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
Mexicans and blacks ain't working together?
Yeah. Yeah.
Women.
Women.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't ever want to take this again for granted because we don't see it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got black women coming with brown women from
Yep.
other brown and black like that's a big fucking deal.
But once again, going back to why this works, they were working on their selves.
Yeah, exactly.
And their foundation.
That's how we work.
And their partnership.
And we were working on our, you know what I'm saying, individually.
And we attracted each other.
Attracted that. And when we came together, it was like, well, I've been doing the self-work. I know how to continue doing the self-work. We've been doing the self-work. Continue. And that's how it grows. You have to start the work with you.
You're becoming better in the process of trying to grow something together. Like if one person is not trying to work on themselves or doesn't even try to have that awareness or like improving on things, like you're not going to be on the same page. But if that's truly what you want, you also get to put yourself in the position and around the people that are doing the same thing, because you can't say that I want to grow and I want to do this, but then you're around people that have zero
no
awareness that aren't getting out of their own way and don't have any desire to.
Isn't it crazy though that even when you're not with each other, you still don't put yourself in certain positions because it might affect
that person,
the business or the partnership or like the
purpose,
end goal. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things I don't even do, or I know that she don't even do or go. It's like we going together, or we ain't going.
What? For what?
For what?
For what?
For what?
I'm literally the thing tonight.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm not going. If they're not let me bring a +1. We're not going to party. We need to walk in as KFS.
Because it's like
everything
everything we do is with
together.
a purpose.
That is the purpose. You need to see us together. I need you to know who are those two women. Like, I don't just need to go.
You just are more mindful because you have somebody that you're attached to. I'm mindful about how I get into
It's like when you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to do the same thing I do when I'm single that I do when I have a
partnership,
man.
because this person might be affected by it. But then it's like, even in your personal lives, like you got to make sure your relationship at home is healthy, because if it ain't, it's gonna fuck up what you got going on over here.
Absolutely. That is
so
so
it
real.
I'm saying when you find that it's connected,
every single thing,
it makes you so hyper aware that everything you do is with that person, that thing, that purpose in mind,
that intent,
and making it better. Like,
because
when you work on yourself and you're making your own personal everything better, it's going to make this better. It's like then I can pour into her more, then I can pour into our business more. I'm gonna have more clarity on where I want to go, and where I want to go involves where JNF wants to go. Like it all feeds into one another. So I think getting clear on those things, like I've been in a place more recently where I'm like, I get to get extremely clear on where I want to go, what I see for this, what I like, what I don't like, what I want things to feel like, because I think it's so important to have a clear understanding of that.
For you.
And it's never
For me. But then she also gets to experience the clarity that I have on it because it affects her.
Right.
But then we was talking about that with Shekinah. Was it you or Shekinah? I don't remember. The other day it was like, how dare you not grow and heal? It affects every person around you. You growing and healing and maturing and doing all of that is not just for you.
Absolutely.
It's for every single person that is attached to you.
Or every single person in the world. Like
literally
your choices, like when you understand that
decision.
Your choices and your growth and your dedication to being the best possible human being you could be in this lifetime.
Everybody.
Literally, it's a chain reaction. It affects when you walk down the street and see someone on the street. If you give them a certain energy and say hello to them, that could be the one thing that they needed
to change their entire trajectory.
Or the opposite of that. You're not healed. You're just mean to everybody around you. You get in the Uber, you mean to the Uber driver. That can affect his family. Whatever. It's the same thing with good or bad.
Like having such a clear understanding of how impactful you are in everything. The way that you speak to someone on the phone. If you're just calling somewhere, like I try to do my best to be my best self. There's times where I fall short for sure, but my interactions with people, like I want them to feel seen and heard and connected to, and like I want that.
And I feel like that's something Frankie's so good at. I always compliment her because when we get in the elevator, she'll say, hi, like, how are you doing to people? I'm like, I'm the opposite. Not like that. I am quiet. Don't talk to me. Like elevator music.
That's Ashley.
Ashley's like,
hey, how you doing?
Ashley's like, I love your shoes.
I mean, I'll have a conversation with people if I'm like feeling it or if there's something, but I'm not good at forcing or initiating it. Where Frankie, it's not like she's like, it's so authentic.
It's
for
genuine.
her.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a practice though. Like sometimes I literally like before I walk out of my apartment in the morning, I'm like, if I'm not even feeling my best, I'm like, you get to still show up and connect with people and say hello and ask people how they're doing. And I can see people's faces light up with just that. Like they're surprised because most people are in the elevator like,
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
if it's
That's
awkward.
me. I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's
Yeah.
awkward and
Are
it
you-
feels dry,
have
but
a
I
good
think
day.
when someone's like, hey, like, how are you?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Or
even
even a
know you, but I
compliment.
see you.
Yeah.
Or
I'm
like,
much better at compliments.
I compliment people a
Yeah,
lot.
same.
'Cause
I
feel like it
compliment
makes
people all
people's
the
day.
time.
Find something good on
Yeah.
that.
But
Yeah.
it's the opportunity that I feel like our relationships have that put us in the position to continue the practices outside of those relationships.
Yep.
And I've said that before.
Yep.
Like my relationship with B gave me an opportunity to adapt practices that have helped my relationships in other
All the way around.
all the way around. But it was our relationship that
started
ignited that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
For sure.
it's taking, like, when I go outside, I have a fire pit now, and it's like my favorite thing to do now. I'm like, I can't
I love
wait
it
to
too.
get
It's
home.
so fun. Make s'mores.
Make
Making
s'mores and just
Ooh,
like
they're
sit
so
at
good.
the fire. I love being
cute.
outside and sitting outside, and I have like a nice peaceful, except for when the train comes by. You guys
That
know about
train,
the
we'd be in the middle of crying, and it'll be a train will come by. We'll
I'm
be like,
I'm like, just give me a second. I just want to say something.
you're like still talking.
And
I
then,
can't
and then you
hear
start
just-
talking, and then they honk.
Or something. It's like Jesus. But I was putting the fire. I was putting the fire pit, and I was messing with the wood. The wood, and fire started going down. And I'm like, damn. Like, how can I get this fire up? Like, how do I keep the flame going? And it was like just maneuvering certain logs and moving stuff around, but the goal was to keep the flame going. As long as I had a little flame, I could create a
You could
fire.
build it,
as long as you
Yeah.
don't let it go out.
As long as I didn't
Right.
let it go out, as long as I
Wow.
kept positioning and
Wow.
moving stuff around and flipping things over, and as long as I kept irritating the flame or
Yeah.
doing whatever to keep it going, as long as I didn't let it go out.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's how I am in our relationship. It's like, take that flame and spread it throughout every part of you. But that spark that we have,
that ignited it.
it ignited it. Like that flame, I
Yeah.
took
Oh,
that
wow.
flame, as small as it was, the small efforts that we did. They weren't big flames. They
Yeah.
were small flames. And I took those things and I attached it to everything I wanted to be on fire.
Yeah.
I just
That's
threw it in
wild.
there.
Yeah.
I threw it in there. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and anything I had to do, if I had to move myself a little bit to the left, move myself a little bit to the right, be quiet a little bit, speak
Yep.
up more,
Just
pray
set the
more,
boundaries.
whatever I had
Trial
to
and
do
error.
to position
Yeah.
myself to keep the flame.
Yeah.
Because I experienced it.
And you know,
And I knew it
yeah.
was possible.
You know it's possible. You know
And
it
I
exists.
watched it go from a small flame to this burning
Wow.
thing that it was unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like this flame that we have,
Yeah.
it is spreading.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is what's
Yeah.
happening.
That's what's
And
happening.
it started here.
Yeah.
It started as this small flame.
Yeah.
These little conversations. Then
Yeah.
they grew to 30-minute
Deeper.
conversations.
Yep,
And
yep,
then those
yep.
conversations grew to 4-hour conversations.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
here
now
we
it's
are.
grown,
Number one
and now
podcast
we're
in the
having
world.
Now it's the number
conversations
one
with people.
podcast in the world.
what?
Do you see what I'm saying? And it was this little flame, and because we experienced it, we did everything we had to do to keep that flame going.
And keep feeling it. Once you feel
Yes.
that, you will fight to. Once you feel peace, once you feel happiness, once you feel the self care,
That's the real
once
drug.
you feel the boundaries,
Yeah.
once you feel the healing.
Yeah.
What?
You can always
I
come
can
back
have.
to it.
I can feel this.
Right.
I can
and
have
still
this
do what I
and still have a great
But I
life.
also
and still,
When you
Give it to me.
feel all
What?
of the things, when you feel so fulfilled, when you feel like your cup is so full, it makes you appreciate the times that you didn't.
Oh, 100%. And know that those times were needed to even feel this.
Like, that
you
was
said,
necessary
no
That
to
was
get
the
here.
foundation for
Right.
you, though, because you can't fill a broken cup. So you
Yep.
have to seal those cracks.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to figure out where are those cracks coming from. What
Yeah.
is causing
Yeah.
them?
Yep.
Why am I traumatized
And
by
that's
them?
hard. That
Why am
yeah.
I
getting to the
triggered by
root of
them?
Doing the work.
How do, exactly. And,
But then
and
when
you
somebody's
start to
filling
feel
your
it.
cup, when you actually find someone that fills your cup, you expose the cracks. Because you see how quickly it leaves. Then you know where the cracks are. But it was her filling my cup.
Wow.
And I was like, damn.
Wow.
I didn't even know a crack was over there.
Wow.
Yeah, bitch, because you ain't full.
Wow.
Your cup was empty. Of course you didn't know
Wow.
where the leaks were. You ain't got no water.
There was nothing
There's
in
nothing
it.
in there to
There ain't
expose
nothing
where
in
the
there.
cracks
So
are.
when she started filling my cup, I'm like, and I watched how
Wow.
fast I allowed it to drain
God.
because I wasn't aware of the cracks.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was a me thing.
Yeah.
That wasn't a her thing. She was filling my cup. Do you know what I'm saying?
It showed you the things you needed to fix.
It shows you the things that you need to
heal.
fix.
You
And
need to
sometimes
face.
we are so off. We want to go
That's
like
wild.
this. We want to go like this when we feel that for the first time.
That was me.
But that was exposure. That was God
me.
saying, yo, there's a crack there.
That was me.
And I'm using her to expose the crack.
That was me.
Don't try to, don't self-sabotage your
like the way this
relationship with her.
feels. Ooh,
She's the reason why you know there's a crack. She's the reason that's going to
She's your
cause
ally.
you to go get the glue.
Right.
He
It's
was
being
the
an
glue.
ally
And
versus
she might know
someone that's
where to
against
get the
you.
glue. She
Right.
might have some extra glue.
Right.
She might help
Yeah.
you glue it up.
Right.
But it's the exposure. She's not the person to fix it. She's the person to expose it. And sometimes we want our people to fix it, and that's not their job. I am to expose it to you.
You have
and
to
you
do the
got to
work.
go get the glue. And where's the glue? The source, God. Go get the glue.
Wow.
So He can seal it.
Wow.
It ain't her job to seal it. It was her
Wow.
job to expose it.
Wow.
It was her job to fill it.
That's good, Megan.
Yeah.
That's it. We want to fix people so bad. No, love them. Pour into them so that the cracks are exposed,
Jesus.
so that they go to Him to get the
Loving
glue.
them through it.
That's it. That's all this is. That's all this podcast is.
Yeah.
We just gonna keep pouring it. And sometimes you're gonna have people that's like, damn, there was a crack. And sometimes you're gonna have people that stop fucking with my shit.
Yep.
I didn't have any leaks
I
until
didn't
you
have
got
any leaks
here.
until you came.
Until you came.
You gotta
here.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get either reaction. We're gonna be
Yeah.
like, thank God for letting me know there was a crack. And there's gonna be some people that's like, yo, you
was good
fucking my
before
shit.
you fucking my
My
shit
shit
up.
is flooded now.
Yep.
What's
Right.
up?
Yep.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
But that is
Because
our
it's not
job.
comfortable to see
not
your
Yes.
cracks.
It's
It is
so
so
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable to do the work and see your cracks and be like, holy shit.
Or
this
to
is
have a
Holy
false sense of
shit.
like,
This is a
I thought I
lot.
fixed this crack. And then when water's being poured into it, it breaks. And
Again.
you're like, fuck.
I thought that was healed. I thought I already addressed
more glue.
that. I
Yeah.
thought that was over.
Because we try
Yeah.
we try to seal it with temporary things. That's not the thing that's actually
Yep.
gonna fix it. Because you're
Yep.
not going to the
and
source.
also, like, it
Yeah.
takes time to fix them.
Yep.
Yeah.
To fix the
It
cracks.
takes time
It's not
for it
overnight.
to glue to dry. You
Yeah.
gotta let it seal.
dry.
Because if you think about it, the time that it has taken you to become you,
Yeah.
like I'm 30, she's 30. The
32,
time
yeah.
that we have literally become ourselves, all of the trauma,
Yep.
just everything that we've experienced that has
That
made us
made
put
us
our guards
us.
up or like just to be how we are. That time that it took,
Takes
we have
time
to now.
take it.
It's
Yep.
it's a bit different now because we have the awareness and the knowledge and the tools
yeah.
and the maturity
And
to
resources.
do it faster.
Yep.
But it's still,
Still
it
takes
takes
time.
time.
It takes
And,
time
like,
to unlearn anything, man.
Yeah.
Once you adapt,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like all of our lives, we just walking around adapting to things
Yeah.
and not being aware of things. We
Yeah.
too busy adapting and not being aware of like where we are. Like, nope, I don't actually need to adapt to that.
Right. All right, you guys, really, really quick. I know. The conversation got so good that we're going to have a part 2 next week. Okay? So make sure you stay tuned for next week's episode. We're going to end it right here. We love you guys. Thank you for watching. You will get part 2 next week. Bye. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Know For Sure podcast. Make sure you keep the conversation going and use our hashtag KnowForSurePod.
Yes, we want to see you guys share the hashtag KnowForSurePod on all social media platforms. We want to keep the conversation going.
And follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter, KnowForSurePod.